What's up, everybody? Big Hurt getting down fresh out, and you tune into another edition of Prison Talk. Want to say thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for all your support. We have been pushing as much content as we can, but we've been limited and actually have had subscribers taken away from us by whatever means or reason we can't explain. So we are dropping a lot more content on Patreon. So make sure you go subscribe to our Patreon and see the uncut, uncensored versions of a lot of the videos we share with you here, because here we have to do the baby version, and on Patreon we're doing the adult uncut version. So check it out. Anyways, want to talk about being P-whipped. And what I mean by being P-whipped is a lot of these guys out here, man, no longer have a backbone. That's one of the foundational pillars of a family structure, is a man with a backbone. You take away that backbone of the man and the family falls apart. And the trick has been the whole time is to collapse that family structure so that it could be more easily manipulated. And I say that to go back to, when you talk about men not using their just rationale when dealing with women, not being able to handle situations accordingly, a lot of that stems from the fact that they never had a man in their life. And so you talk about a repetitive cycle that just perpetuates itself. I'm not saying that a woman can't raise a man, but when it comes time for a man to deal with situations, he's been taught to deal with that situation in accordance with how a woman would handle that situation, which is not the same. Men are by nature going to handle a situation a lot different. And when he's been groomed by another man, he will act accordingly. But the way things are now, and the way a lot of guys are dealing with situations, is from a perspective of a more feminized nature. And it's like, some of the hip hop artists have said before, a lot of you are bitches too, because you don't know how to handle things, and you get in your emotions rather than think things out and work things out in a situation that could prevent a violence or something detrimental. You got guys all the time, man, thinking that they got this female in check and they done laid the hammer down to her or whatever, and this same female, you look on her Instagram post, she's in another city with another guy doing the exact same thing she was doing with you last week. And you look at this guy, he's an animal. He might be a professional athlete. So he's giving her the hammer on top of the hammer you just gave her raw. But you thinking, oh man, she only does that with me. No, you're P-whip, homie. So you assume because she let you hit that you got something from it. And you might have been, that might have just been what do you call it? A token hit. But and she might have a guy like you to make her feel like she's actually, dealing with a real relationship. But all the time she's got probably 4 or 5 benefactors who take care of her all across the country. But that's how you guys are thinking, man. You're thinking with your little head, You're thinking with your little brain, and you're not using common sense. On top of it, somebody like you, the cornball, she might mess around and have a baby with you because she knows that you are a hard worker and you're going to take care of little Timmy when it comes time for little Timmy to need some things as far as child support. So you roll with the program. But you don't live at the house because she also gets a check from the government, which means that if she gets that check, you can't be in the house because she couldn't get that check if you were at the house. So you get the hit from time to time, but you're not living in the house. And you see Timmy on a, scheduled visitation, but when you're not with her, she's getting hammered by all kind of dudes. And those dudes ain't paying. They just giving her the hammer. See, you guys are P-Whip, man. You can't see that. You're dealing with a hoe. And it is what it is, man. I mean, you want to be this guy who's so high in stature, and your ego tells you otherwise, but you don't realize you're being played. So a lot of you guys out there, man, strap up. And if you do have a child, be a daddy to that child and look at the game for what it is. Because that same female you think that you're controlling through whatever sex you're giving her, or whatever Christian Louis Vuitton you're buying her, or whatever, Ruth Chris dinner you're taking her to, I can guarantee she's probably getting that from 10 other dudes, and she's laughing at you. Even if it's, a weekend with her girls, and that weekend with her girls, she's getting hammered by Big Mike, or Big Ted, or Raul, or Rico. Might be all of them, because she might be a cold freak. But at the end of the day, you're P-Whipped. Watch our video uncut on Patreon, man. Big Herc getting down fresh out Prison Talk.